Okay, so I'm going to start in around 5 minutes. So there's a bit more people, or like in 2 minutes I will start. So there's more people in the video. Okay, so we're going to start. I'm going to change into presentation so you can see the PPTs. Just 1 second. Amazing. Oh, okay, perfect. Dobra. So as you know, today we're going to talk about being LCVP IGV. And yes, I'm mainly an LCVP IGV, but I was also LCVP IGV, so for sure I can tell you about my experience. So welcome to the consultancy space. And so this is the agenda. We're going to talk about why we are here, like why IGV exists, let's say, main responsibilities and JD of an LCVP IGV, why it's good to be IGV, and then we do some questions time. So first, why are we here? I put this quote that says we cannot become what we want by remaining what we are, and it's super important that you understand that IGV is really an area that is super oriented to not only action but also change. Like everything about IGV is around change. Why? Because you are working first to change the reality in your city or even in your voivodeship, um, but you're also working about changing the lives of the volunteers that come to work on your country. So like volunteer in a completely different place than they are from. And if you've been on GB, you understand that is something that really requires a lot of courage and a lot of like being brave in general. So yes, I'm super passionate about IGV. I've always been in IGV, so I really love it. So for me, it's not only the fact that you are able to change something you don't like in your city, but also change the lives of people that you never thought you will meet in your life. And they can, at the end, they also change your life, and you end up learning a lot about other people than them about yourself. So we're going to talk also like main responsibilities LCVP. So it's lead your team, because let's be super honest. Maybe if you can be an expert in operations, you can be an expert on how to do approvals, on how to do sales, etc. But if you're not able to lead your team, you're really not doing much. So this is one of the biggest responsibilities you have as an LCVP. Then manage your resources. So it's amazing when you have a bunch of money in the account of your LC and you're making the product super profitable. That's super cool, etc. But if you're not able to manage it, and when I talk about resources, it's also people. If you're not able to, let's say, invest on your people or invest your money to make your operations better, you're not doing much. So it's something that you also have to take into consideration. Then achieve. So this is achieve your results, achieve your operations, make sure that what you're doing is happening the best way possible, and that you're actually able to achieve something that you plan. Amazing. Sorry about this access, but I forgot to change it. But main responsibilities, or let's say the measure of success you have as a LCVP IGV. Well, actually, this is I don't know why it's showing here, but it's supposed to say measure of success. So the measure of success of an LCVP IGV is percentage of growth in complete and approved. So why incomplete and approved? And approved, it means that if you're growing in approved, it means that you're, how do I say it? You're actually working for something to happen. Yes, because if you don't have any approvals at all, it means that you're not doing anything. And I mean sales as well. Why? Because for you to approve, you have to first sell. It's something that a mindset I'm trying to change, of course. But if you want to approve, you have to sell first. So if you're not growing in approvals, it means that you're not either selling, not either doing anything about the international relations, or you're not doing anything at all. Your team is not doing anything at all. And incomplete, why? Because you're developing delivering the best possible experience to the change participants, to the partners. So talking more about, let's say, main activities and again, MOSs and KPIs of an LCVP IGV. Of course, it's 1 year. You have to report to me, basically, and to the next MCVP IGV, but also to your LCP. So again, we talked about the MOS's percentage of complete and approved growth. And the KPIs is like, of course, number of approval, number of completed, number of contracts or opens. So amount of EPs that have a place to work for 6 weeks, and percentage of conversion from applicant to approved. So talking about how you're managing the number of applicants you have and if you're actually doing anything to convert them. And of course, let's say the main activities are basically delivering team standards and implementing national strategies, everything that has to do with IR at local level for IGV, and ensuring the delivery of the change standards and the NPS. Also, something super important mentioning here is the synergy. So I think it's super important to have really strong synergies. You cannot miss synergy meetings with finances, especially when the peak is getting closer, because you have to manage your budget, you have to manage your resources also. So TM is also super important. So all your team is completely educated, not only in operations, but also in things like team management, time management, and other soft skills. And PD is an important synergy because it's a way to boost your operations. So PD can help you, for example, in making IGB more profitable, but also help you in, I don't know, having a huge stakeholder that wants to take a bunch of EPs. So talking about behaviors, of course, these are the competences, so it's very important that you also take it into consideration. Agility, why an LCVP IGV has to be agile? Because you have to be very solution oriented all the time. You have to always be like trying to get of anything, trying to be resourceful all the time. Growth, because it doesn't make any sense to think that one person will make a complete change or impact in your LC or even in your city or white dot ship. But when we're talking about growth, we're also talking about bigger impact. Empathy, so being customer oriented, not only for the EPs, but to the stakeholders as well. So the schools and the NGOs or whoever that is taking the project. It's extremely important to be empathetic when you are an LCVP IGV because it literally is everything. If you're not empathetic with your enablers, you're not doing anything at all. And eagerness, because you really have to do some take some risks and try to push yourself to always make it better. And the values are, of course, the values of ISEC. I'm not going to say them because for sure you know them. But of course, the values of an LCVP are the same values of the organizations. So it's good to be iGV, as I was telling you at the beginning. For me, it's a product I love with all my heart because it made me understand better my reality and how I can change it. But also it made me open my eyes to the world without even leaving my house. So I mean, not my house, but like my city. So and it's super amazing, cool product. So if you're still thinking about applying because I don't know, you're afraid somehow for something, I don't know, don't be, because it's amazing. Yes, it requires a lot of responsibility, but it doesn't mean that like all the responsibility that you give, it will give back to you. Let's say cool things, and with all the things that you like time and commitment that you put into it, it will give back to you in a lot of ways that are in your life forever. And if we talk about experience, so first we have two VPs IGV. So here is me and here is the other VP, and these are our members. This was in a local conference. Actually, if you make me talk about my EV experience, I can talk forever, but I would talk mostly when I was as an LCVP IGV. So first, I was LCVP in Colombia, but I'm not Colombian, I'm from Peru. So basically, I was an LCVP abroad. And that was even more challenging for me because it meant that I have to work with for a reality that was not the one that I come from, but it's still the reality that was surrounding me. So for me, it was very important to put my heart into it. And as you see, we had a lot of members. Actually, from them, 4 of them became LCVPs for the current EV of the LC. And together we achieved more than 400 approvals during the whole year and more than 300 realizations. So in total, during the whole year, we received more than 300 EPs that came to Barranquilla, which is my city where I was living. And this quote is actually the stand of my EV. It's a bit cheesy and actually long, but I was remembering when I was writing it on the presentation, why we chose this quote specifically. So it's not about just changing reality, but developing the people that is going to do it, and that we were really super action oriented. And from these 300 EPs, that more than 300 that went to impact the city, I think, I don't know, I only did a percentage of the work that requires these people. Most of them was done by my members, and it was the same with the other, like my partner LCVP. We weren't doing most of the things, let's say, operational, but it was most about leading the team and really making them feel engaged with the area and what we were doing as an LC and as an area. So now let's go to the questions. Hi, Shimon. I'm going to stop presenting so you can see my face. Okay, amazing. So any questions you have, you can tell me now. So we'll wait another 5 or 7 minutes for you to ask questions if you have them. Okay, so I guess there's no questions. There's also no one else watching, so I will just leave it until there. Thank you so much for the people who watch. And still, if you have any question, you can just text me or whatever and send me an email, whatever you need, and I will answer for sure. So bye bye.